Cat, egg. Well, if you're wondering if you want to play the game Darkest Days, it is a mixed bag. You'll see Steam reviews that bash it, some that'll praise it, but after putting over hundreds of hours into this game, I can just give you a brief breakdown, of course, with really choppy visuals. Anyways, the game is just a third person zombie shooter, not really a survival game, can't call it a survival game. Just think like PUBG with zombies. And that's it. You know, simple. You go around, you kill zombies, you loot houses, you find guns, you find armor, you wear them. Simple. Not much to it. Dodging iframes are crazy. Stamina mechanics very lax. And yeah, that's basically the whole game. It's kind of repetitive, but that's what adds to the charm of the grindy game. Um, to put into retrospect, the grind to get to max level, which is level 40, would take an average user around 80 hours. So if you don't want to play the game till endgame, and if you think 80 hours is too much, well, this isn't the game for you. You can just stop there. You know? But let's say you do like a grindy game, and after 80 hours, you're just like, okay, what's endgame content? Well, there's gun upgrades, there's armor upgrades, anything to bolster your damage, just so you can start one-shotting zombies, and that's pretty much it. And if you don't find joy in just seeing your numbers go up, then the game really isn't for you. Yeah, there's multiplayer in this game, which you can see in this multiplayer zones. Everything except for Sand Creek right here is multiplayer. You got two raids on the right side, you got an extraction shooter on the top left right here, and these other four areas have PvE to PvP, meaning if you go into these zones, there are red zones within the area, which I can pull up soon, and there's dedicated PvP zones. But other than that, it is a single player game. And to say it's co op is not very accurate as of this moment. Devs have said they're going to revamp the system in August, but how it basically works is you go into these maps, and if your friends live near you within the same region, because the game is region locked, so that means if you're on West Coast NA, you can only play with people on the West Coast NA unless you use a VPN. Devs have said that VPNs are a-okay to use and it's not against TOS. So anyways, you go into these maps, you find your buddy, most of mine are sleeping, they stand in front of you and you just party up with them. And then once you're in a party, you go clear all these houses, right? Well, once you clear the houses, if the house has like one loot in it, then only one person gets the loot. So if a house has two loot in it, you and your buddy get one each. You know what I'm saying? It's split resources and it's not very efficient, especially for the speed that you can clear houses in. Like just a couple shots, one zombie, two zombie, done. So I can't really say it's much of a co-op game besides the raids, and even the raids are a mixed bag. So, like I said, it's a solo grind game, if anything. Now, a lot of people are saying if you want to do free to play, is it viable? And yeah, it is. I think crafted guns in this game go hand over fist over guns that you can RNG, because if you know anything about Korean games, RNGs basically rip your soul out. So what I mean by that is you can go into your facilities, you can go into the forge, you can craft an item, and let's just make a simple Krinkov 47. You craft a gun and you look at it, and then you see this line underneath it is your substat. And if it has a good substat, it's a good gun. Like this has 5.6 headshot damage off the rip. And so it's a pretty good gun. And it'll probably be way better than ones you find. And what I mean by that is this gun I RNG'd from a box, thank God. But this gun I crafted. And it only took me like 3 crafts, you know. And despite the rarity difference of SSR being higher than this SR, they kind of do the same damage just because the substat on this gun is better than this gun. So why does that matter in pay to win? Well, there's an exchange shop where you can use real life money to buy guns. If you want to see exchange rates, it's like I believe $80 to or $90 for 1,300 gems on the first use. 13k gems on the first use. So if we go back into the exchange shop, we go look for the most expensive gun. This gun right here would basically cost you around $75. And that's discouraging. Like, oh, isn't that pay to win? It's like, I guess, but you also have to understand that the guns on this market are limited to a special icon that can be sold. So not every gun, not every equipment can be sold. Such as this weapon has this, or this armor has this little icon, this blue icon that says I can sell it, or this says it cannot. So even if you found a god tier roll, maybe you just can't sell it, and then that's how they kind of balance out the market. But yeah, if you get lucky and you see it like a great gun on the market, you could technically buy it. But more often than not, there isn't any. And even scouring the marketplace daily, I probably check it a couple times a day. All these guns are just kind of bad. Like this 2.8 headshot damage on a +2 SSR. Just a few moments ago, I crafted a 5.8 headshot damage Krinkov. Like, sure, the rarity is worse, but if you upgrade it to the same status, it'll do more damage. So, do you really want to spend, let's say, like 9k gems? This is probably like $55. You want to pay $55, or you want to just craft that shit for free? So, is it pay to win? I don't know. Maybe if you're stupid, but most of it is a heavy grind fest, and you can make most of your gear and climb up the ranks if you would like to. Another thing is you can also buy materials, and they say it's like, oh, you can just bolster your own shelter and you can just buy all the materials. No, you can't. This titanium right here, you need 66 of these. There's only one on market. There's no way you can go and bolster your gear and speed run through the game by paying. Like, it'll help you and save you maybe like an hour if you really wanted to, but it's not really much. Like, I mean, we take account to these blueprints, they do help you with upgrading your shelter. You can decomposition them, and then you can use a lower level tier because you decomped them. But it still doesn't really get you that far. Like, if I were to show you this robotic slab with 3% crit chance and 1% attack power, it's not that much. And if I go to level up, look, it goes to 2% attack power and 3.5 crit chance. Like, you're gonna spend around like $20 to get 0.5%. Is that really worth your $20? I would hope you would rethink your thought process. So is it pay to win? I wouldn't really think so. I think you could just farm normally, keep your head down, and just get strong through normal means. There's other ways to farm a lot of materials. You could technically farm all your materials. You don't need to rely on the market at all. And the best thing going for this game, I believe, is just the roadmap and the dev work between the community itself. Because the community on their Discord would shove a lot of things into the suggestion pile, and the devs actually listened, implemented the next patch, such as enhancement rates for guns was abysmal when it first started, but now it's better. Another one would be drop rates in endgame areas was awful. Like, if you go to Rootlands right here, it would take, on average, it takes you like 10 minutes for a run. You'll get like 5 ER, you know. And to put in perspective, you need like 20 for a rare grade weapon upgrade. So that's 40 minutes of grinding, give or take, right? In the latest patch, they increased the rates. 10 minutes, you can get like 11 to 13. So now it takes you a little less than 20 minutes to do the same thing. So they ease up on the grind, they increased drop rates, and as of recently, they even created a new PvE only area to grind out these blueprints that recently were locked behind a time gated wall. So I think the devs are on the right path. The roadmap is promising, and the good thing is they haven't lied so far. But the game is still an open beta, so if you want to put your trust into an open beta test, I think it's worth it. But that's just my opinion. Um, I guess one last thing would be, is there going to be a server wipe after it goes to a global release? Devs already said no. And if you think they're lying, there's not much you can say about that. Just don't start if you think they're lying, simple as that. But I guess for me, it's just back to the grind. Bye bye.